Hey everybody, Chef Dan here at the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy. We're gonna show you guys how to make Detroit style pizza at home from scratch. So we're gonna be using our KitchenAid commercial line, a little bit more powerful than the ones that they sell at the retail stores. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some high gluten bread flour, pour that right on in. Next, some fancy semolina. So we've got our flour and our semolina. We're gonna rack this up. We're just gonna mix this a little bit real quick with the hook. So now I'm gonna add my sugar, my yeast. Okay, make sure that gets good and incorporated. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna take my warm water, because this dough is a direct made dough, and I'm gonna start adding it to the mixer. So this is a high hydration dough, so it's gonna be a little bit sticky, but we're gonna work it so it's dried out. We have a little bit of the dough coming together. It's not quite there, but we're gonna add our oil, and then we'll add our salt. My ingredients in, I'm gonna turn it up from number 1 to number 4. Okay? Doing it this way with the flour first, we're actually gonna allow the dough to have a little bit of a slower absorption time instead of putting the water in first. So you're gonna see it's gonna pull in just as much flour as it wants at a time until it's all incorporated. Now I know you're probably thinking, hey, this still looks a little bit dry, but just let the flour absorb and mix. Because if you start messing with the formula, it's not gonna come out right. Now we're starting to develop some protein. You're gonna wanna mix this until the dough starts to pull away from the bowl. And you'll know it when it's happening. As you can see, the dough starts to want to pull away. We're gonna work it a little bit longer to ensure we have a good, strong gluten mix. Inside the bowl, you're gonna see that the walls of the bowl are starting to clean up and the dough is really pulling away from the sides. Like I said, this is a sticky, wet dough. So if you look inside, it looks pretty wet. I'm gonna take a little bit of wet, touch of water, clean that off. Always make sure to scrape the bottom of your bowl to make sure there's no dry bits left over that didn't get mixed in. Okay, but take my bench scraper. We're gonna go out onto a clean work surface. We're gonna pour this out. People would probably be adding flour because it looks so sticky, but this is the way it's supposed to look. Okay? So now with a little bit of cold water on your hands, pick it up, fold it over, pick it up. And what we're gonna do here is by doing this folding technique, we're gonna develop our gluten net, and we're gonna actually see that it's not gonna get as sticky the more we work it. Scraper, get all my bits. We're gonna let this rest for 15 minutes and allow that flour to absorb that water, oil, salt, sugar, and let the yeast do some of its work. When we come back, it should be a little bit drier, less tacky. I put a bowl over the top of this dough because I do not want it to form any sort of dry skin. So as you can see, the dough is relaxed a little bit. I'm gonna take my dough scraper. It's not as sticky as before. Okay, make sure it's not too stuck to the bottom. Take my fingers, pick it up, fold it over itself. Pick it up again, fold it over. You see how smooth that dough comes out to be? Okay, we're gonna do one more fold. The dough comes right back. Little pull. Okay. One more 15-minute rest, and then we're gonna divide it up and put it in pans. We've had our 15 minutes. Our dough is a little bit more relaxed. So I'm gonna take my dough scraper, pick it up, move it a little bit closer to me. And now we're gonna portion this into roughly 525 gram dough balls. 528, I can allow that. We're gonna do what's called an envelope fold. So I'm gonna spread this dough ball out, kind of square, and then looking at the points, gonna take the two edges, fold them in, and then I'm gonna take the back, I'm gonna fold the top in, and the back over the top, almost like you're folding an envelope. Okay, then I'm going to use the pull method to put a little bit of tension on the skin of the dough ball so that it actually tightens up. Okay, and now I'm going to make it a little bit more of a oval shape so that when we put it into our lightly oiled Chicago metallic glazed pan, it doesn't stick. But we want to make sure that we put dough ball in there, and we're going to put a little bit of oil all over it so that it doesn't stick while we're proofing this. Take the dough ball, it's got a little oil all around it, flip it over, give it a little push, okay? We can flip it over again, and that's all that's going to happen for 1 hour. We're going to put this into a proofer, 1 hour, and then we'll press it out again. Okay, so we've already portioned out our dough and put it to proof for 1 hour in an oiled pan. All I'm going to do is take my fingers, flip this dough over a little bit, and we're just going to gently press out this dough. We don't want to push all the air out. We just want to push that dough as far to the edges as it'll go. Look at that, beautiful. Nice and easy. And now we're going to set it to proof for 1 more hour. We'll press it out again and we'll see if we're ready to bake. It's been an hour, so now we're going to take a look at our dough. It's puffed back up. So what I want to do is I want to be very delicate and just stretch it out to the corners. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to gently push down. The dough is nice and relaxed, okay? Just like that. Now you can let this proof a little bit longer if you'd like, or you can bake it as is. I'm gonna let it sit for probably 15 minutes, let it come back a little bit, but I wanna make sure not to let it proof too much because you won't get any rise. I have my dough pressed out in the pan. We're gonna do this true Detroit style. I've got my sauce already hot, and now I'm gonna take my cheese. And we all want that frico. We want that cheese crown. So I'm gonna make sure the dough's pressed all the way to the edge. Okay? And now we're gonna load it up. This is our East Coast blend. You can use cheddar, you can use brick. They use all sorts of different cheeses. So it's kind of up to your discretion. I'm gonna try to put that cheese really far up the edge so we can get a nice tall cheese crown. Nice thick layer. All right, now we're gonna go into bake. So it's been about 20 minutes in our Blue Star oven. We're gonna take a look. Pull it out, we got a nice color. If you look all the way around the edge, I've got a nice little bit of golden brown. You are more than welcome to cook this a little bit longer. So I'm gonna let this dough sit on the rack for a few minutes because what we've done is we've caramelized the sugars in the cheese. We wanna let them set so they stand up nice and straight so we get that beautiful straight edge to cut through. So we've let our pizza cool a little bit so we get those nice straight lines. I'm gonna take this and just make sure it's easily removable. Now, I'm gonna get in, get under, pull it out, right there on there. Now if you look, you're gonna see we got nice straight edges. Okay, that's because we let it sit in the pan. A little bit of color. Now we're gonna take our warm sauce, the way they do it in Detroit. We'll just do the racing stripes. So, cut through, cut it in half, again, and again. And here you have it. Look at that cross section, beautiful, nice, spongy. Maybe needs a little bit more color on the bottom, but good. I gotta say that's a pretty good pizza. So if you like Detroit style, please give this one a shot. And if you wanna learn how to make it, you can learn here at the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy in Lisle, Illinois. Have a great day.